Hey guys, Michael Bolduc here, and I want to talk about this $2 trillion market cap that I talked about in my previous video. And I want to tell you why I believe that it's very easy to get an extra $1 trillion and even go to $4 trillion market cap in the next several months. And I'll explain to you the mathematics behind that and why that the market can continue to go up and why it didn't crash. And you know, something I didn't know before that I found out at 3 a.m. on my bicycle right now and doing my exercise. But as soon as I get back home, I'm gonna make that video for you. So make sure to watch the entire video to find out this important information. Come on. There we go. Okay, let's go to metaphor to explain to you that let's say that, okay, we only have 10 Bitcoin, so this will explain more simple. And the total market cap of those 10 Bitcoins is equal to $1 trillion. Now, each Bitcoin is worth 100 billion. 100 billion times 10 is 1 trillion, right? So now if we want to go from 1 trillion to 2 trillion, how would that happen? So I decided to make a simple analogy for you. So let's say this guy here wants to sell his Bitcoin, but the other ones don't. Only this one, right? So he sells his Bitcoin to this guy who wants to buy it for 200 billion because he thinks it's going to be worth a lot more than 200 billion. So he buys it and he sells it. So now this means that everybody who owned this other 9 Bitcoin, your value goes up to 200 billion and the total market cap goes to 2 trillion. However, it's important to understand that it only took 100 billion to create another $1 trillion. Right? Because as soon as this guy sold his Bitcoin for 200 billion, you are now owning a Bitcoin that's worth 200 billion. Market cap increases by 200 trillion. What you need to understand is it didn't take another trillion. It only took 100 billion to increase the total market cap to 2 trillion. So that's why it's easier to increase the market cap than people think, because we need to look at the formula to calculate the market price, which is market cap equal circulating supply times price. So this is the price, that's the market cap, and this is the circulating supply. So don't worry about this one for now. We're not actually calculating that. And so that gives us the current market cap is 915 billion. We have a circulating supply of 18 million times the price, and that's how we came up with that calculation. So now what needs to happen for Bitcoin to be 100,000? Well, we need to understand that volume is what controls the price of the market cap, okay? And volume is calculated every 24 hours, the amount of coin that has been traded in the last 24 hours. And you can see that, the amount of Bitcoin that was traded in the last 24 hours is 855,000. And people were willing to buy that for 48,000. Okay, so this volume, right, is what's going to determine like how many people are willing to sell and how many people are willing to buy. And if people are willing to buy at higher price because they think it's going to go up in value, then this increases the total market cap. So let's say that they were willing to buy it in the next 24 hours for 81,000. Okay, then that would double the market cap to $1.8 trillion. Does that make sense? So then what you need to understand is it didn't take 1 trillion. It only took 81 billion of transactions, okay, in order to be able to increase to 1.8 trillion. So we almost created $1 trillion by the volume of only 80 billion. So in the same way where I'm saying, look, it only took 100 billion to create another 1 trillion because of the transaction. So this is what determines the market cap, not the total amount that was put. So that means a lot of things. That means that, well, it's not real money. It's perceived like money. People only keep the Bitcoin because they think it's going to go up in value and price, right? So during a bull run, a lot of people are believing that, okay, the Bitcoin's going to be worth 100,000, so I'm willing to pay 50,000. Now, keep in mind, the closer we get to the 100,000 mark, right, that means that are people going to buy it for 100,000? Do they believe it's going to be worth 200,000? See, that's the problem here, right? The closer we get to the 100,000, the less people are willing to buy it for a higher price. I think like that because, and this is why, like, if everybody's saying, yeah, the Bitcoin's going to be worth 100,000, I think the demand keeps going down, and then eventually there's going to be a correction or a crash, because people no longer believe that the Bitcoin is going to be. There's no point buying, like, let's say it was 70,000. There's no point buying it if you think it's going to be worth 75. You'll make 5, and then there's no guarantee and there's a lot of risk. So you can see that right now people are still buying it because they do believe that it's going to be worth 100,000. So it's keep growing, right? And we have a lot more room to grow, because right now, if it's going to be worth 100,000, then that means that you can double your money. You buy 48, you sell for 100. Now, if it goes to 100, I'm not saying that, but I'm saying that yeah, okay, in the past, in April, 4 months ago, the total market cap, right? The total market cap was 2.2 trillion, and now 4 months later, it's back to 2 trillion. The question is, can we go to 4? And yes, as long as people keep believing that the Bitcoin's going to go up, it doesn't take much money to increase the market cap, and that's important to understand, because if it took another $1 trillion of money, then where's the money going to come from? But it's not the right question, because we don't need that. We just need people to do transaction of about 100 billion on a 24-hour basis. That's where we need to get to in order to get to the point where there's a 2 trillion market cap for Bitcoin. And once we reach 2 trillion market cap for Bitcoin, that means the Bitcoin is 100,000. Okay, so does that make sense? Important to understand. But here's the thing. I mean, it doesn't need to go overnight. Obviously, if there was 100 billion and it sold at 100,000, okay, then we would have a 2 trillion market cap within 24 hours. But it doesn't work like that. There's a lot of traders. So traders buy and sell, buy and sell. So if they continue to buy it at a higher price, and they don't mind doing that, then this volume every day just keeps moving the price up, and up, right? So plus, we need to pay attention to how many Bitcoins are in the transaction each day. Is it going up or down? If it's going up, obviously the holders are selling, and that might bring the price down. But if it's going down, then that's a good sign as well, okay? So why? Because yesterday, there was 721,000 BTC that was, exchange hands. Now today there's 155, so that went up. And you can see that even in spite of that, the price went up. But here's the point, though. There are tools that we can use to see, like, is that people holding on to the Bitcoin or not. This is the number of active address, and we can see that sometimes it's go very high, meaning like very active, like people don't want to hold on to it. And sometimes it goes very low, like here. And right now it's been going down. That means that people are not exchanging their Bitcoin. They're holding on to it, right? They're not active in their address. They're not buying and like selling. So when people are not buying and selling, what that affects is the volume, because there's less Bitcoin being traded. And the less Bitcoin is being traded, the easier it is to increase the price of Bitcoin, because people who want to buy it have to pay more. Now, again, if that indicator here shows us that no, we're going to increase the number of people who are trading Bitcoin, then of course that's going to affect the volume, and the volume is going to affect the price, because demand supply. So a lot of people look at the circulating supply, but I would say that the more important determining factor is how many people or how much volume is being traded. If there's less volume, then people have to pay more. I would think like that, because the more people want to buy it, then they have to be willing to pay more. And as long as they're willing to pay more, right, then that's good. And so it's a demand like supply thing. So that will keep bringing the price up, and that's what's going on right now. People don't want to sell because they think it's going to 100,000. So I hope that makes sense. Because I explained to you guys yesterday that, wow, we're already at $2 trillion market cap. And, do we need another $2 trillion? Where's that going to come from? And the answer is no, we don't. We just need to look at the volume, and we need to look at the number of active address. So I hope that helps. Let me know if you have any questions.